Everyone, this is Zana with the Lethal Gaming Squad, and today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the Vault of Glass and some tips and strategies your team can use to get through it. One thing to keep in mind before you enter the Vault of Glass is make sure you have plenty of ammo synthesis for all of your weapons. That's heavy, special, and primary. You definitely don't want to be in a pinch when you're in the raid and run out of ammo and not have any synthesis on you. Another thing to consider before entering the Vault of Glass is what level are you? Level 26 players are going to have an extremely difficult time getting through the raid, even though it says it's level 26. In the last room, the enemies are higher than 26, so you'll be doing reduced damage. Some classes you want to bring along with you would be a Sunsinger and possibly a Gunslinger as well. The Sunsinger is perfect for carrying the shield in the final battle against Atheon, which you'll see later in this tutorial. Gunslingers are also great escorts for the shield relic carrier, as they can clear out a lot of ads in the rooms that you get teleported to. Right here we're going to be showing you the opening sequence where you need to capture the plates. You need to keep these 3 plates active so that the spire in the center can be activated, which will open the Vault of Glass. Praetorians are the only enemies that can take those plates down, as you just saw. So you want to make sure to wipe out all the Praetorians as they pop out before they reach the plates.
Talking about blessing of light. Trust you're coming all the way to the right.
I know. Praetorian.
Alright, and right here you're going to see me having a little trouble with my blink ability as I'm trying to get on top of this rock right here. Pretty much I'm trying to show Smurf that this is a good location that you can use to have a great vantage point of the battlefield on that left hand side. Pretty much just tell him to get up there at this point. Smurf, right up on top of this ledge right there, right in front of you. That's a good spot on that rock one. Should be able to see the Minotaurs spawn down in here. This is one spawn for the Minotaurs. Hobgoblins and Goblins also spawn here, as well as Harpies.
Are we supposed to be on it now?
No, I'm just explaining real quick. See, there's a Praetorian. Alright, and then the other set of Minotaurs and ads spawn in this cave down here. And this is the other cave where Praetorians and other ads will spawn out of. They will primarily head towards the center plate, unless the people on the front right plate aggro them towards the front right plate. From the vantage point you'll see me take, I'll be able to help out with any enemies that spawn out of that cave. The people on the front right plate also have to worry about enemies spawning right in front of them in that open area, so they'll have to keep an eye on both the cave and that front section where we initially spawned at. I think they alternate, but I'm not sure.
Last time they were usually always heading up there.
Unless you guys shot at them. That gate right there, that is also where another group of Minotaurs and ads spawn out of. Alright guys, let's get it going.
Our shit's been active.
Yeah.
Alright, well I'm activating the center one. Alright, now that we're getting started, I've got the center plate active, and then we're also, you can see me having some trouble using my blink ability with my hunter. So for this opening spot, I'm using a Void Sniper Rifle, so I can help take down the shields for the Praetorians. It's a very good idea to have Void weapons when you're going into the raid. If your secondary and your heavy both aren't Void, you should at least have one of them as a Void, because the shields for the Praetorians are Void, and it's a lot easier to take them down using that kind of damage type. From this vantage point and the vantage point that Smurf has, you're able to watch both sides pretty easily. Smurf can help out with the front left, I can help out with the right.
I like that auto right.
You can also see this gate from this location.
Yeah, I can snipe over at Tressa and White Boys guys too.
You can kind of see from the vantage points that I have and Smurf has, there really isn't too many enemies actually making it to the center. I believe the two front plates, the left and the right plates, are mainly aggroing most of the enemies. This is one of the Praetorians that got closest to our plate, but I ended up taking it out with the Blade Dancer. Still having trouble with my blink ability. I actually changed to my Gunslinger a little further down the road because I was just having so much trouble with the blink ability. Also, I find the Gunslinger class to be a little more useful than the Blade Dancer class in the raid. There's a lot of stuff that you really don't want to get too close to that you would have to in order to use your super with the Blade Dancer. Awesome.
Go behind us, Tino.
You've done that so much quicker than last time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's done already?
Yep.
Is it done?
Yeah, it's done already. So we finished that pretty quickly. I don't believe we actually lost any of the plates this time. The first time we ran through the raid, we were all 27s, and it took us a little bit longer to open the actual gate to the vault.
Plus, on our side, Tino was like getting rid of the Praetorian shield in like one shot.
Oh yeah.
I figured it would be useful to upgrade that sniper all the way.
You were
I got
right.
that in my Galahorn, so...
Even not upgraded completely, it's still a good sniper. I was taking their shields down with my shots too. Their actual life that I was having trouble getting down.
Alright, so as you're coming in, you're entering in the vault of glass. It's pretty straightforward. You don't really have anything to worry about at this point. Just following the path, and you get a little reward right down here. So we have our first chest. You'll definitely want to wait to open this until everybody gets here. And you receive Ascendant Materials. So you'll either get 2 energies or 2 Ascendant Shards.
What'd you guys get?
Energy.
Energy.
Got shard. Tressa got energy also.
Alright. So now we're reaching the Templar's Well.
God.
It's got to be a little bit careful.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh, okay, good. This part's so tricky with blink. Oh. Okay, and at this point, once you drop off this ledge down into the next area, you'll be entering a darkness zone. Once you reach that darkness zone, you'll have a 30-second timer if you go down, and the only way to get back up is if your teammates revive you. This first objective is to defend the center conflux. You'll have enemies spawning out of the center bottom stairs. There will also be another group of enemies spawning from the left rear cave, and then there is another cave on the right rear that enemies will be spawning out of. A good way to effectively take care of these enemies is have 2 people watching the middle stairs, 2 people watching the left cave, and 2 people watching the right cave. From this back area that we are at, you'll have a good vantage point to keep an eye on those caves, as well as keep an eye on these stairs. Corridor in the center.
Watching for hobgoblins on the left.
I'm down already. Alright, we should have 2 people on the left side and 2 people on the right side, and then 2 people watching middle.
Me and Rogue are on the left.
Alright, Smurf and I will have center. We got 5 seconds on respawn. Okay, now that I'm revived, I'm going to be grabbing a better vantage point, as I was a little too close and I was a little too low to the ground for my liking. So I grabbed this vantage point right here. This is an excellent spot to see the enemies coming up the stairs. You'll also have a nice shot at their critical points. You just have to keep a watch out for the boss in the back shooting his void lasers at you. The boss activates the ritual, then that's when you'll die. We got a green one right there, fanatics. Definitely want to take care of the fanatics before they get up the stairs. As you see down there, there are some fanatics dropping the green ooze. At some points, there's quite a few enemies down in the bottom right there. If you have rocket launchers, it's a great way of taking out mass amounts of enemies quickly so that you don't get overrun while you're trying to take them all out. Again, you can see that green pool down there. That is from the fanatic. You definitely want to avoid touching that green pool, otherwise you'll have to run down to the center area where that glowing ring is, and that's the only way to cleanse yourself. If you're still marked when the boss activates Ritual of Negation, that will instantly kill you. And then you'll have a 30-second timer, and you'll have to wait for a teammate to pick you up. I think my Alright, now at this point, you see we have a conflux on the right, conflux on the left. We have to defend those two. And you can see from my location, I have a great spot to swing between watching the left-hand cave and those enemies that are spawning right there. And then I can also keep an eye on any enemies that spawn from the middle. I'm trying to get Smurf located in the right area. He's moving up, but he can actually watch that back cave from the location relative to mine. If he stays on that right-hand side of that elevated position in the back, he should be able to watch the cave on the right. We have Pino and Rogue watching the conflux on the left. They're sticking somewhat close to it. They can pretty much get most of the enemies before they get all the way down the stairs. On the right-hand side, Tressa and White Boy are pretty close to the cave that the enemies are spawning out of. They can pretty much take care of them as they walk out of the cave. It's just important to keep an eye on any fanatics that spawn out of that cave. You definitely don't want to get marked at this point. So basically, right here, it's just defending those two confluxes and making sure no Vex sacrifice themselves to it.
Minotaur. Ammo.
And right here you'll see Smurf running to get some ammo and actually ends up going down. It's important to note that he went down right there in the center, but you barely saw right over there that his respawn point is farther back. Now if you have fusion rifles, like really good fusion rifles, I recommend having a couple people running fusion rifles, as they do quite a bit of damage to the enemies in the Vault of Glass. I'm cutting through these Minotaurs with it. Sniper rifles are also valuable to have. If you have anybody that has the Icebreaker sniper rifle, that thing is a beast in the raid. It takes Minotaur shields down. Even though it's a fire damage weapon, it takes their shields down pretty quick. We also had Tressa go down, so now I'm swinging over to the right-hand cave to help White Boy out. Smurf's still watching that middle section. Pino's assisting with the middle section while she keeps an eye on the left-hand side with Rogue still. It's important to have your communication going. If somebody goes down, you need to know exactly when, so you know who needs to move where to assist with taking responsibility for different areas. You can see I just got marked. I'm running to the center to get cleansed. You got to make sure that you don't get marked too often in this area. You only have so many times you can actually cleanse yourself in that pool down in the center before it's inactivated. And then you'll just end up having to take a death if you get marked, because you won't be able to cleanse yourself. You really want to try to get these fanatics that are spawning right now. You want to take care of them before they get too far out of the stair area. It's a lot easier to just avoid the green ooze when it's all in one location instead of scattered all over the floor through the whole area.
A couple fanatics coming.
There's a heavy spawning of fanatics right there because we are near the end of that segment. Now we have to defend all three confluxes. We're gonna keep with our current placement with Pino and Rogue on the left, Tressa and White Boy on the right, and then Smurf and I in the center. And it's pretty much the same thing. We just defend the confluxes. It's just all three at this point. There might be a heavier population of enemies spawning, but it's just the same thing. So far we've gotten through all of this without wiping.
Okay, I'm taking the ones out down here.
You can probably also attribute that to the fact that we're all level 28s and we're fighting level 25 enemies at this point.
Oh, can't get over that sniper.
You talking about the icebreaker?
Yeah.
I know, I was talking to her. She got it, and fucking, I was talking about how bad I wanted it, and I got it.
Oh, we got someone right on top of
Oh
us.
shit. Got him.
Where did he come from?
Oh, we got fanatics on the left. Okay, they're all down.
Mid-court.
A minute. This hard to come up here, just get raided.
Out of ammo. Hobgoblin.
At this point we have successfully defended all three confluxes from the enemies. We just have to outlast a couple waves of enemies that are still spawning in. Next we'll have to take care of the oracles that spawn in. There's 7 locations at which they spawn on this map. It's important to take them out as quickly as possible, as if one is left unattended, it will mark your whole team for negation.
Down.
Now there are a limited amount of cleanses you can receive from the portal down in the center, so if everyone is marked, it's unlikely you'll get the whole team cleansed. At this point you'll have to choose to continue, knowing that a couple of your members will go down, or you can just wipe and start the section over. I was unable to show all of the locations of the oracles before we got started. You'll see me scrambling around a little bit trying to show you. There is one that spawns in the center right in front of where I'm at currently. And then there's 3 on the right side and 3 on the left side.
Smurf's been marked.
It's
Gotta go
easier if the team on the left hand side is up forward a little bit, because they can see that one that spawns. You can actually see it from where I'm at right now. It's up in that left hand corner where that light is to the left of the boss. And then I will show you the other 3 locations here in just a second. Another thing you have to keep an eye out during the oracle section, there are 3 ledges on the left and right sides that are a little farther out. Hobgoblins spawn on these ledges, and they are deadly, and they will take you down super quick if you don't take care of them quickly. You have 1 person on each side with sniper rifles or hand cannons that are close enough to take them out in one shot.
One right in this corner.
There is 1 location, there's 1 location.
In this corner.
This is another oracle location with the 4th location right there. I was looking at the one that was in the center. It can get pretty chaotic in here as you're running around trying to take out oracles. You also have minotaurs, hobgoblins, and goblins, and some harpies spawning in. There's 1 location with a hobgoblin.
That's a minotaur.
You can hear the chimes of the oracles. There's 1 location. You can see that location to the left.
Shot.
One way you can avoid the hobgoblins is if you're constantly moving. If you stop for a minute and you're in their line of sight, they're more than likely going to hit you.
Working on them also.
I'm trying to get where I can see
the very least, if you can just get a shot off on the hobgoblin to freeze them and keep them from firing, at least do that, and then you can take them out with a couple consecutive shots after they come back from their shielded state. The further you get in this Oracle section, the quicker they spawn in. You can hear just 4 of them spawned in pretty close together. There's a 5th one.
Minotaur in the middle.
Oh, I'm down. Goblin on your left, Smurf, behind you. And there's that hobgoblin up on that left-hand side that took me out. Hobgoblin.
Getting it.
I'm down. Minotaur coming from mid. You can kind of see Rogue and Pino's location in the top left corner of my screen. They're hanging out in that center area. There's not as much cover, so you definitely need to make sure your teammates over there can handle themselves. Duck back to cover when your health gets low. And there's the Oracle that spawns in the center. Communication here is key. When you hear those oracles, you want to call them out and say, like, I've got this oracle or I've got that oracle. Letting your teammates know that the oracles are being taken care of, you know, it takes a lot of the stress away from this situation, as it is a pretty stressful situation already with these hobgoblins on the ledges and then the minotaurs and goblins down in the center. Plus you have the boss occasionally shooting at you. So far we've made it through taking care of all the oracles, and we haven't been marked yet. We've just had a couple people going down here and there from the hobgoblins. The rocket launcher I'm using is a void rocket launcher, so it's great for taking out those minotaurs.
Lot of ammo.
There, all 7 of the oracles spawned in, I believe. Oh. And I got took down by that hobgoblin up on my corner again. Those things are deadly, and I think I was the only one really getting hit by them quite a bit.
Got the sniper.
Georgia, what's up, dude? Yeah,
I'm getting
we're
hit.
playing the raid, man. This is the raid. So we'll be here for a while. You can hear that sniper that White Boy has. He's using that icebreaker sniper rifle. It regenerates ammo, so it's awesome for the raid because he never has to worry about picking up ammo for it. Automatically regenerates. Pino has that sniper rifle as well. That is what she's currently using during the raid as well.
Minotaur coming on right.
Yep.
Oracles.
There's 2, 3 oracles. 4th one. Our right's down. 5th one. 6th one. And the 7th one. You can hear the chimes. The chimes are at different goblins on the right levels, so you can tell. I mean, if you listen to them, you can kind of tell where they're coming from. Chimes definitely help you determine which area of the map the oracles are spawning in. Sitting right here is a perfect spot for watching the right-hand side. You have plenty of cover, except for those hobgoblins that pop up. And now we have the oracle spawning in again. The team is doing an awesome job at taking these oracles out. We haven't been marked once yet. And coming up here in a couple of seconds, you'll see that quite a few of us get item drops. That means that we've successfully destroyed all the oracles that we needed to, and we'll be ready for the next step. Now there's a brief pause. You basically won't start the next section until you pick up the shield relic down in the center. So if you need to take a bathroom break or just discuss your strategy for moving on to the next portion, this is a great point to do it because the section won't start until that shield is picked up. I'm also going to be showing you where all of the oracles spawn. Pretty much I'll walk around to each location that they spawn at coming up here in just a second as well. Nice, alright, so we got that one. Alright, so for this next spot, the Templar, you'll still have to deal with the oracles. There's going to be one that spawns here. They'll spawn at the same places they did before. We have one here. Another oracle will be in this area. Be an oracle right in this area. And then one right here. And the oracle right here with the one in the center as well. Now for this section, it's a little easier if you switch sides because the boss is going to spawn in the middle right here to begin with, and then along these back sections that we're defending the first part. And while I'm running around here, I'm going to explain a few mechanics about this Templar fight. You're going to have one person carry the shield relic. It's best to have a Sun Singer on the shield relic, just in case they go down, they can revive themselves. The only thing is they may not respawn directly on top of the shield. You might have to have somebody close by grab the shield if they go down. If that shield is on the ground for too long, your whole team's going to die and you're going to wipe and get brought back right to this spot where you have to pick up the shield again. It's best to keep everybody together. In case you miss a oracle, the shield carrier can cleanse everyone. Just try not to miss those oracles that appear as you're fighting the Templar. Another mechanic that happens is when you bring the boss's shield down, he will detain some people. You have to make sure you shoot this force field that gets put around you, or the shield carrier can punch you out of it with the shield. If you try to leave the force field before it's broken, you actually end up dying. For the shield, the way you control the shield, left bumper will cleanse people. It puts a bubble around everybody or a certain area, and that will cleanse people. Right trigger is a powerful attack, and then if you jump in the air and hit right trigger, it's almost like the Titan's death from above strike. In order to take down the shield of the Templar, you have to press left bumper and right bumper, which is the same as using the super. Or it'll be L1, R1 for PlayStation users. That will activate the super. It's kind of like a Warlock Nova Bomb. It has a little bit of an arc to it, and at which point, once you hit the shield on the Templar, you can actually start doing damage to him. His critical spot is right around the eye area. It's almost like a Hydra. So you can see I'm running around taking care of oracles. There's his critical spot on the boss. Rockets, you want to do as much damage as you can in between the time that his shield's down before he teleports. And then one key thing for the shield carrier, you definitely want to make sure you're taking down as many harpies or grabbing any orbs that are dropped by your teammates. So you want that shield ability, that shield's super ability to build back up as quickly as possible so you can put as much damage down on the boss as quickly as you can. If the timer goes on for too long, then he will end up getting enraged, at which point Minotaurs start spawning and it gets really difficult to put damage down on the boss. Oracle.
Actually, no, I got it. I got my super.
He's in the center.
The shield's down.
Now the shield is down. Shooting. And actually we did not successfully complete this boss fight the first time. I believe it took us 2 times. There you can see the detainment field that someone got stuck in. Not all of your teammates will be detained, only a couple of them.
There's a shield at
You can see the shield was dropped, and that's where we died, because the shield was dropped. The shield carrier died, and then that's how we ended up wiping, because the shield was on the ground for too long, and we didn't notice that it was down.
Maybe they changed that from last time.
So here's the successful
Well, it might
attempt.
be different in this room than it is in the other room.
Right.
See, we're start back up on top of that ledge, but the shield is there, and the only section we actually have to complete now is the fight with the Templar.
I got it. You got it.
Alright, I almost have my super. Charge. You ready? Shield down. How am I marked?
2568.
Is there an oracle that we missed?
No, Tress is not marked.
You
marked.
detained? Might have been detained, not marked.
I was detained.
I almost had my super. I'm gonna use my super.
Okay.
Shield down.
Detained.
Already down a lot.
Oracle.
It's down.
Harpies.
And I have my super. Super's going off.
Detained. Okay. My
Got my
shield's
super
down.
again.
Already half down.
Oracle's down.
Oracle.
Oracle's down.
Go over here to get the guy's shield.
On this side.
Waiting on
Shield's going down now. Shield's down.
Detained.
Ammo.
Alright, we're getting them down.
Oracle's right there. Oh, he's so close. Super's up.
Harpies behind us, Tress.
Shield's down.
Detained. Fuck.
Oh, you kidding? Kidding?
I swear when I saw him,
Oracle.
like, he was so
Where's the oracle at? I don't see
I
it.
got it. Got
I
it.
almost have my super. And super's up. Shield's going down now.
Oh. Fell down and fell through the detainment. And I did end up going down right at the end because I got detained and then fell off the side of that ledge and died. I got 3 Ascendant Energy for defeating the Templar. A couple other people on the team got Ascendant Energy as well. You can have a chance to get other items such as the armor drops or weapon drops after beating the Templar. So this is the second drop out of 4 that you get from the raid. Moving on through this next section of this caves, you're safe from enemies for a little bit. we'll be coming up upon 2 more chests that we're going to show you how to grab, and they are in the Gorgon's Maze. Now, as we're traveling to the Gorgon's Maze, it should be known that you cannot kill the Gorgons in the Gorgon's Maze. They just have way too much health, and if they see you, your whole team will die, and that will be a wipe. It took us a few times to get through the Gorgon's Maze without being seen. So we'll show you where the second 2 chests are in this location, and then show you the path you can use to get through the Gorgon's Maze. It's actually not quite as long to get through the maze as you might think it would be. We have a pretty relative safe path to follow, and once you get to a little alcove, you're going to be safe. This is probably my favorite part of the raid. It's a ridiculously long drop that you have to jump down. The first time we got here, we actually had no idea what we were supposed to do. All you do is take that giant leap of faith, save your double jump for right near the bottom, because otherwise you might still die if you hit your double jump too high up. You'll notice where I hit my double jump and my health was extremely low when I hit the ground. So I think we're waiting for a couple things, so I'm just going to fast forward it to when we actually jump.
You're not all the way
Also, right here, before you make this jump, if you need to take another bathroom break or get something to drink, this is another great spot you can do that from before you make this jump. Or even at the bottom of this jump, you can sit there for a minute and just relax. And here I go. Here's the long jump. A little tricky to determine when you actually need to hit the double jump. I probably should have waited a little bit longer. And look at that. My health was I almost died from that. Just a sliver of health left. Pino actually died and self-resurrected herself. So now we get to the bottom.
I'm pretty sure.
And right up there where Rogue is, that's where you want to head to get that second chest. So you'll notice as I'll have a little bit of trouble at first. There's a couple little ledges.
right up here.
There's one little ledge right there that I just tried to jump to. So you can jump right in front where I went to, then hit that one. Little hole right up there. See, it's a little tricky. But if you hit the right ledges in the right order, you should be able to get it. So hit that lip, and then there you go, you're there.
When you get there, wait for everybody.
And you probably noticed a little jump from the last scene to this scene. I really didn't go anywhere. We were just waiting for Tressa to pop up into the location so that we could make it through. This is the full path all the way back to the second chest. As you'll see here, you can actually get other items other than Ascendant Energy and Ascendant Shards.
It's under a nifty light.
Rogue, Pino, and Smurf all got class items. So Rogue and Pino got Warlock Bonds, and Smurf got a pretty sweet
Fragment
Titan
of
Mark.
the Prime. Light of the Great Prism. What were those?
Warlock Bond.
Oh, nice.
It looks cool.
Pressa hasn't found anything yet.
Oh, that looks sweet, Smurf. It's like neon.
Smurf, that's awesome.
On it glows.
Oh, it glows blue like our heads.
Now we'll be able to see you in the dark.
Oh yeah, you should note to
Our bonds
everyone
do the same thing,
who's watching the video that all of our heads are flaming.
Our bonds do the same thing. Too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks awesome.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, everybody completed the Nightfall this week.
Multiple times.
I go the wrong way.
Yeah, this is right where we start.
Okay, and for the second chest, this is at the beginning of the Gorgon's Labyrinth. This is after a wipe. So if you, at the start of the wipe, or the start of the Gorgon's Labyrinth, if you hang to the right, you
just gotta
hug these walls on the right, you'll come to this little tunnel right here. You'll have to watch out for this Gorgon right up front. Waiting right here at this entrance to this cave is a great spot while he passes. For this run, this is pretty much just to show you the route. We actually ended up wiping because 3 people got stuck behind. But here is the path. You just hug that right wall, stay to the right, and you'll end up right where the chest is. Now here you'll see what happens when somebody is seen. Somebody got seen, that's when the Gorgon's gaze pops up and everybody dies. There's no escaping from this. You can't kill the Gorgons. So now I'll show you the successful attempt where we got everybody through to the chest. So it took us like 4 or 5 times before we finally got everybody through. You'll notice I actually got a little turned around and took the wrong route. That's why I showed the correct route through the first try. But here's when we got everybody through to the chest location.
There is one up here to the left.
Run in there.
Oh shit, I went the wrong way.
Finally.
Hooray. Crack it.
Fucking ascendant energy, dude. It's about to piss me off.
Darn.
And once you reach this chest and you unlock it, the best way to get back to where you need to be is probably just to wipe yourself. Just let yourself be seen by a Gorgon, and then you'll start at the beginning of the Gorgon's labyrinth, and that's where our tutorial actually picks up again. We wipe right here, and then we get brought back to the start of the Gorgon's labyrinth.
I honestly don't even know how to get. Said it was all good.
So here we are at the back at the beginning of the Gorgon's labyrinth. Now this is the path we like to take as we get to the next section. So you'll jump up on this big rock, wait for the Gorgons to pass. You can follow this little river down to this part where it splits. Heading to the left, there's this rock right here. You can crouch behind this rock and the Gorgons won't see you. Up ahead you'll see that large rock formation. They won't see you if you're on top of this rock formation. So we get everybody up on top of here.
Try not to fall off the side this time.
And from this vantage point you can look down and see where the other Gorgons are. You can also notice on the radar where they are. Right there, the 2 columns that I looked at that are illuminated on the side, that's pretty much the area you want to head towards. You want to head right towards those 2 columns, but keep to the right. Actually, where that Gorgon just went right there is pretty much right where you want to head. We've got everybody going.
Which way?
Right.
Keeping to the right. Just hug the right wall. Right here is the entrance to the little cave you need to get to, and once you get to this cave, you are safe. You don't need to worry about any Gorgons seeing you. So getting through the Gorgon's maze really isn't that difficult. It's just knowing where you need to go.
We're good now. We've gotten, what, 3 chests already?
Yeah. This way.
How many are left?
I think there's only 3.
Oh, God.
Okay, and here's the jumping puzzle.
Now the jumping
It is a lot easier for Warlocks and Titans to make it across this puzzle due to their jumping abilities, their second jumps. It's a little more difficult for Hunters due to their double jumps being a more traditional double jump. The blink abilities, I have not tried a blink jump on this section, but I don't really think it would work out as well due to the fact that you really don't get as much range as you can with the other jumps. It's somewhat limited, has a limited distance, so I don't really believe you'd probably make it. You can see White Boy, he's going down. He actually found a area that he could jump to and actually did make it over to the area we need to get to from that section down there. I didn't really take a look, but there is an alternative way to getting across without actually having to jump on the puzzle pieces. I don't know if a Hunter would be able to make this jump because of the distance of that gap, but he was a Titan and he also got Tressa across that way as well. So I'll let you see everybody's attempts so you can kind of see what works. Here Smurf jumps, and then he goes to the third one actually before jumping across. And Pino does the same thing. You can see Pino waited a little bit longer than Smurf did to activate her double jump, and Pino made it across, and Smurf went down. Really, you gotta wait a little bit. You know, you have to wait a little longer than you might think you need to wait before acting that double jump ability. Even on my attempt, I probably hit my double jump a little too soon, and I almost died again from the height that I actually fell after my double jump. So everybody did make it across, and then Pino slipped off a little section. I went back to try to pick her up, and then I ended up slipping off. So here is the my attempt to get across, and then the path you need to take once you get across. I think Pino just missed it again. Yep, she did. All right, so here is the hunter jumping across. Once this block spawns, I'm just waiting for it. So make the first jump. You might need to use your double jump ability to get to it. And then jump. And then here I'm running. I'm waiting. And then I hit it. It was still a little almost short, and my health was extremely low when I hit the ground. Alright, I did a little fade while I was waiting for Pino to get across. She's across now. So once you get over there, you just jump over this little gap. And then once you get up here, hug the wall. You pretty much just walk forward, but have your control stick, you know, leaning into that wall on your right. Once you get to this area, there's a little chip in the floor. If you walk over that chip, you actually end up slipping off. So I just ended up jumping over it like that, and I made it. Just keep hugging this wall. And once you get over here, you drop down to the right, and you're all set. You're done with the jumping puzzle, and you're ready to move on to the final room. A little celebration dance by White Boy right there. We're just kind of wondering if there was anything over on that other section over there.
I don't think there's
But there isn't. You'll see us just kind of jump up there, take a little look around, but there's nothing up there.
It doesn't look like there's anything up there.
Alright, well. So there are no more chests?
Alright, and we have reached the final room. Once we step through these doors, the first order of business is taking care of the enemies that are in this room. We will have goblins, hobgoblins, and then precursor goblins and hobgoblins. The precursor enemies are actually the only ones that will actually give you glimmer in the Vault of Glass. So here I'm trying to activate a blue polyphage, but my menu's not being brought up. Pino actually went down because she was trying to activate her blue polyphage when she wasn't in cover. I'm getting hit, so I get out of my menu because it was taking too long. We try to maximize our glimmers since this is the only room you actually get glimmer from. If you don't decide to activate those blue polyphages, it's not that big of a deal. So once we take care of all these enemies and the gatekeeper, there will be 2 gates that we have to activate, but we're going to get more on that mechanic in just a moment. Coming up here, I'm going to be showing 2 vantage points that we're going to have White Boy and Smurf sit at for pretty much the rest of the raid. They'll be sitting up there while we activate the 2 portals to go get the relics, and then they'll also be sitting up there during the fight with Atheon. The great thing about these vantage points is you can't get hit by the supplicants that suicide themselves. The supplicants can still shoot at you, but you won't die from them exploding on you because they won't be able to reach you. You definitely want to make sure that the people up in these locations have weapons with high damage. So pretty much it's best to have the people with the highest damage weapons that in your crew sitting at these 2 locations that I'll show you in just a moment. Right here I'm going to be showing White Boy where he's going to be sitting. Now White Boy has the Icebreaker sniper rifle, when we get times vengeance, that does about 10,000 damage per shot if he manages to hit that critical spot on Atheon. It's also a little bit easier for him to hit that critical spot since he has a sniper, and he'll be able to scope right in right where he needs to hit. So this is the one spot. From here he has a great vantage point of this gate, and he can also see the rest of the battlefield. He can help out with the other side as well while putting shots down on Atheon. Alright, I'm going to be cutting over to the other gate where I'll show you the next location. That's a great vantage point. So you just jump up on top of the gate. And from the gate you jump across to where Rogue is. And then right up on this pylon you have great cover. You'll be able to see a lot of the battlefield from here. You'll be able to help out with the supplicants and any other enemies that are spawning on the ground. You don't have to worry about dying from a supplicant suiciding on you. Your main job up here is going to be putting damage down on enemies, assisting the person that's jumping between the gates, and then putting damage down on Atheon as much as you can. We'll also go over the other mechanics, but this is pretty much, we had 2 people in this spot from the beginning. So right after we cleared the room, we had White Boy and Smurf jump up to these locations while we activated the gates. Okay, so the first attempt didn't go so well. This is our second attempt, and we were successful at completing this section of the raid. First order of business is taking out all the enemies in the room, plus that gatekeeper. At this point you want to know who's going through the gates and who's staying on this side. We had 2 people, which was Pino and myself, go through the gate, and then Rogue, Smurf, White Boy, and Tressa stayed on this side to take care of the enemies and keep the gates open. We had White Boy and Smurf up in those vantage points that I just finished showing you, and then Tressa and Rogue were down on the ground keeping those plates active for us so that we could get back through the gate. It's important to note that after you grab the relic from the first portal, a conflux is going to appear in the center, and minotaurs are going to spawn at the top of the stairs that gatekeeper is at. You'll see that in just a second when I look. So you see that gatekeeper's up there. Minotaurs are going to be spawning and coming down to sacrifice themselves. You want to have the 2 people on the vantage points taking those minotaurs out before they reach that conflux. It's very important that you don't allow them to sacrifice themselves. If 4 of them sacrifice themselves, it's going to be a wipe. So here we're going to be, Pino's activating the gate now. See Smurf jumping up into his location in just a minute. I believe White Boy's already up in his vantage point. Yep, there he goes right there. Those minotaurs okay from that spot up there? Alright, portal's open. Pino and I are going through. I like using my rocket launcher as soon as I get through to take out this gatekeeper. Having a hunter go through the gate is also handy because he has the super that can take those smaller guys out in one hit. Pino's staying at the portal to shoot at the rest of the enemies. I'm running to get the shield. I stun this hobgoblin and grab the shield and hit him once with that right trigger ability for the shield, and that took him down. You have to get back to the gate before you're marked by the void and you can't see. You can see I'm losing my eyesight here. Once you get to the other side, you're going to have to cleanse yourself and the other person that you went through. So now we're moving to the other gate. I don't know if I look over to see it, but that conflux is now in the center. So White Boy and Smurf, who are at those vantage points, are now keeping an eye on those minotaurs that are coming down from the top of the stairs. Now the portal's open. You see those minotaurs just for a second coming down the stairs. Now White Boy did go down, so I believe I was calling out to make sure that they were assisting with that conflux. And then Pino and I are grabbing. The nice thing about coming over to this side is you already have your shield, so Pino, I was able to cleanse us. We didn't have to worry about losing our sight. With that right trigger ability, you're going to see me take out these minotaurs. I'm just stunning them. You can't even really do anything because I'm stunning them with the shield. Just spam that right trigger on those minotaurs and you should be able to take them down. Had to slide down to cleanse Pino.
After 1, I think it's over.
And then I ended up screwing up that special shot. Pino got him. You want to be sure you're not close to that thing after it dies because it blows up. Luckily, Pino was a Sunsinger and just self-revived. Now we're going back. I'm going to cleanse again up here. Pino smashed. Alright, now we're going back through the gate. I cleansed. I'm going to jump up and get White Boy up. And now you want both of the shield carriers to go down and assist with clearing off the Minotaurs that are coming down the stairs. There's that jump and super punch.
I got my super, Pino. You got yours.
Once the supers for both shields are built up, you want to have both of the shield carriers go down to the conflux and use the super. You're going to shoot both supers at the conflux, which is going to complete this section, and you'll be facing Atheon next.
Yeah, ready?
1, 2.
Here we're counting down. Doesn't disappear right away, so we got to keep these Minotaurs off of it for a little bit more. So you just keep spamming that right trigger, and those guys go down.
Where you at?
Where are you?
Right beside Pino. Alright, good.
Got behind you guys.
And now the conflux has disappeared. I'll lose my shield right here.
Somebody pick up the relic.
Pick up the relic.
Got it.
And the shield is
We
gone.
got through that part.
And you should receive a
Oh,
drop.
wow.
And once
Let's
you
get to
receive
the
your
back.
drop, you're going to have just a short amount of time to get everybody situated where they need to be. You need to have 3 people on this back ledge all the way against the back wall. And then we're going to have Smurf and White Boy jump up to their vantage points again. Rogue is going to be the one-man hero. He's going to be jumping between the 2 gates, activating whichever gate we tell him that we're currently at. So Atheon is going to send Pino, Tressa, and myself back to one of the sides. We need to call out which side we're going to. We went with jungle and desert. The desert is on the left-hand side, and the jungle is on the right-hand side. So as soon as you get pulled over to one of these sides, see, we're on the desert. We're yelling out, hey, we're on the desert side. That's left side. And this is where being a gunslinger comes in really handy. I'm able to take out all 3 of those hobgoblins right away. And now we're just clear to take out these oracles. So Pino's on the shield as the Sunsinger. If she goes down, she's able to revive herself and then pick that shield back up, leaving Tressa and myself to just, plug away at these oracles. Now, while we're on this side taking care of the oracles, we have Smurf and White Boy up on those vantage points doing damage to Atheon and helping Rogue manage those supplicants on the ground. As we walk through, we're telling them, hey, we're walking through. Is the gate clear? You definitely don't want to come through that gate when there's supplicants right next to you and they'll blow up. Another thing I do as a gunslinger, when I come through the gate, I activate my gunslinger ability and I try to take out any harpies that I see. And then I put down my damage on Atheon. Pino is amazing at hitting those super shots on Atheon with that shield. And there I went down. I know it took us a couple times this time to actually get through the final battle, but we did it. I believed I explained most of the mechanics, so I'm going to just fast forward to the successful run that we had, and I'll explain anything else that I need to.
White Boy fell.
Alright, we'll get it this time.
All the more reason to get it done faster.
Much coffee, man.
He might play better if he goes to the bathroom, though.
Hey, I'm playing pretty well, alright?
Yeah, you are, but I just know, like, when I gotta go to the pee and I'm fighting Atheon, it's like, dude, I can't focus all the way. I can still focus, but it's like, there's still just a little bit of your brain that's like, I can't focus. Desert. Desert.
Up here. Gotta move forward.
through.
Go, go.
They're all on the right side.
Cleanse. Right here, Tressa ends up going down. She got hit by Atheon. We just had to communicate to the rest of the team that, hey, somebody else is going to end up getting pulled back with us. Luckily, it was Smurf, so Rogue was still free to activate the gate for us when we told him we were on jungle side. Pino's going to use that shield to hop down and take care of that Minotaur while Smurf and I take care of these oracles. The oracles appear at the same locations each time, so you can kind of get the pattern down, get the rhythm down, you know when you need to reload. It's also nice that where if you actually end up getting a full black screen, you still have a slight sliver you can see, and through that slight sliver you might be able to find that red hue, and that's where you know you need to aim at. So now we're back on the other side. Smurf's gonna hop back up. I almost had a close call with a supplicant right there. We have Tressa back up. She's putting damage down on Atheon with her Galahorn. I'm supering. I'm taking out these supplicants. And it's back to business. We've got our rhythm back. Everybody's where they need to be. Atheon's pretty much already at halfway down, and this is about the second time I think we just went through. So we're heading into our third portal jump. Alright, we're on jungle again, telling Rogue, hey Rogue, open jungle. I'm throwing a rocket down there to help Pino out with that Minotaur shield. And then Tressa and I are taking care of these oracles. Right here, I'm going to get pretty dark. Pino managed to save me. Reloading. Definitely want to help take out those Minotaurs and Goblins, so the less time that the Relic Carrier has to use taking those out, the more time you have to get cleansed. I believe right here Tressa might have got stuck on the other side. It seems to be somewhat of a little glitch. Sometimes you don't make it through. You just have to keep your cool. Try to recognize, hey, I'm in the wrong location, and just hop right back through. Right here, Tressa's right in front, and she ends up going down. So we weren't able to get to her and cleanse her in enough time. So somebody's getting brought back to the other side with us. Alright, we're calling out Desert. Can't remember who's on the other side to open the portal for us. Hobgoblins are down.
My headphones are dying.
No, it's left. It's the one on the left. It's one by White Boy.
I think Rogue might have got pulled back with us, and we're telling White Boy that he needs to open up the left portal. Loading.
Smurf, can you get Tressa?
And we almost missed that last oracle right up there. Rogue managed to get it. Right about here, Tressa gets back up. We're going to be heading back to our usual formation. And then White Boy ends up getting tagged by something and goes down. We know we just got to keep our cool. We've got Atheon pretty low. He's almost dead. We know it's only one or two more jumps to the other side, and we'll be able to take him down. We just got to keep what we're doing. We just got to keep at it. Desert.
Stay close to me, guys. My headphones are dying.
Is that choke
Other-
side? Is it?
No, it's
left side.
I don't know how I got it.
Well, I can be revived. You can get to me
I'll do
real
it.
quick.
Sure, I'm gonna try and keep the door.
Yeah, we're almost back.
Yep. Watch out for those harpies that might be swarming the gate.
Alright, we're walking through.
And then right here, we end up walking through, but Tressa gets turned around. She ends up getting stuck on the other side. She can't see. She needs to be cleansed.
Pino's coming for you.
So we're communicating that somebody else is going to get pulled through again.
Where are you?
I'm through.
She on the other side.
If someone gets stuck on the other side, it's almost better to just leave them there instead of having the shield carrier try to go back. We've had other times where the shield carrier has tried to go back through the portal and it just gets messy. And it's a lot easier if you just wait until the next time you go through. And then I see Tressa standing there. She ends up falling off of that perch she was on.
You know, go pick up. Oh, well, wait. You gotta keep us alive. Gotta keep us.
Looks like Smurf got pulled through with us this time.
She just. Oh, she shouldn't have moved. No, she fell. She shouldn't have moved. We saw her. It's alright. It's alright. We'll get him this time. And vengeance. And
It was doing it to us.
rage is near.
And we just got the warning that Enrage is near, but we don't even need to worry about that. Atheon just has a sliver of health left. I'm about to send a rocket down that's going to take him out. And once Atheon is down, you'll receive your final drop for this raid. You can see I just got the Chatter White shader and 3 Ascendant Energy. We also received the Raiding Party achievement because everybody that played today is part of the Lethal Gaming Squad clan on Bungie.net. You can create your own clan on Bungie.net so you can get the same trophy or achievement depending on which system you're on. We hope this tutorial that we made will help others that are still having issues getting through the raid. If you follow the strategies we used here, it should be no problem. Unless you're, you know, lower level. 26, it's doable. 27, it's doable, but it's still going to be quite a grind on both of those levels. Level 28 is a much more effective level to be at for completing the raid. This raid run took us about an hour and 47 minutes total. Still haven't been able to get anything lower than that, but this was our second time running through it, and it was a big improvement on time compared to the first time we ran through it. If you liked this video and it helped you out, make sure to like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm also streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zano120, and you can find links below. Make sure to check out DestinyNews.net. It's the greatest place for up-to-date information on Destiny and the new things that are happening. And we also have a great forum community on there. That's where I actually met Smurf and Rogue. I met them through the Destiny News forums. It's a great place to communicate with others and talk about Destiny. Thanks for watching. This is Zano with Lethal Gaming Squad signing off.
Alright, time to go to hard.